Well, I hope you guys can hear me over the wind today. The forecast is calling for wind all week, so I don't really have a choice. I wanted to show you guys this Caldwell Ultimate Target stand here. If you've been a watcher of the channel for any length of time, really, you've seen me use the crap out of this thing. I think I'm on number 3 here, and the reason I keep having to buy them is because I keep forgetting and leaving them at the range. And every time I come back, if it's even still there, people think it's fun to shoot it full of holes and bust it up. So I forgot my target stand down there the last time I was down there, so ordered another one. But these are pretty cheap anyways. I keep picking them up for 30 bucks. There'll be a link in the description if you want to get yourself one. But pop this thing open here and kind of give you a little in-depth how it works and all of that, and do a little shooting review with it. But before I clip these zip ties, you see there's your main stand. I know there's some stuff in here or the other side, whichever one opens up. These are your arms here, but I just wanted to show you why it's kind of together here, because they pop back into place to keep it compact while you're, transporting it. I always like that it's nice, flat, small, compact, and I just toss it in the car pretty much like that. It doesn't really take up any space. You got your little guards for the feet down here. They are pointed so that you can put it into the ground, which I'll try and demonstrate that as well. There's a quick overview on the back, but yeah, you got this little doohickey here. It runs from side to side. Where's that at? Right here. You slide it off and it hooks into here. Helps you keep it nice and level when you push it into the ground. Also, if it's windy, it keeps it from like rocking back and forth. I got this extra little guy there that I always neglected to use, but it gives you a little more rigidity on the target there. That way the center doesn't bow in and out. A few more features I'll go over, and then you can see here they're showing you can even use it to set up targets on a 2x4 if you have 2 of them. That's that slot for your 2x4 right there. Here's the placard. It unfolds, which they do sell replaceable placards here. And I've usually only had, I shoot a lot. I'm at the range every week and use this thing probably at least every other time, if not more. And I usually only have to replace these maybe once a year. They're like 10 bucks for a replacement. And that includes me sending a bunch of big 12 gauge slugs through it before it finally starts breaking down to the point to where I'm like, all right, I need to replace this backer and put a new one on. So if you didn't shoot shotgun slugs through it, just stick the pistol and rifle rounds, it'd probably last you a few years before you'd ever have to replace one of these. But they do sell replacements and they're cheap. So, as you can see, everything's standing there. The arms, I usually just pop them out and throw them in the car, but you can slide them up in there and snap into place, keep it all together nice and compact. And then on the back here, and I really hope you can hear me over this wind, there's all your extra stuff and your instructions, and there's that little centerpiece. And then these guys here just kind of help hold the target in place. I'll try to demonstrate that as well. I usually just use duct tape, but it does come with those. You can use those if you wish. And of course, if you have the peel and stick targets, you can just stick them on there. It sticks on there great. I used to do that all the time, but I like using these bigger shoot and see targets now, which do not have a sticky back, so I gotta duct tape them on there. I have used these in the past, but I just personally prefer to use a roll of duct tape. It's quick and simple that way. So for these arms, pop them off the retaining slots there, and you just slide it in like this, flip it up, and then you see that little nub right there. Once you get it there, you just push it past and it snaps in place for you. So pretty straightforward how to stick it in the ground, but I'll show you anyways. And you do stick your foot through it. And then you'll unfold the backer. It's pretty self-explanatory again. You just pry these open a little bit and it slips in those to hold that in place. And I am dumb. I finally read the instructions for once. That always helps, right? And I found out what these are actually for. So as you can see, it's got a little wave there because of the seams where it folds up. So that is what these are for. You slip them over there and it'll, you know, it reinforces where these seams are to keep it nice and straight for you. I've never known that, so we're going to put them on there to do exactly that now. And by the way, if you couldn't tell, it's we got like 10-mile-an-hour winds out here right now, and it's having no problem standing up. So yeah, look at this, freaking windy. And having all that stuff in place helps, because a lot of times I skipped out and I never had those things on there, never had the balance thing in there, and you know, it kind of flop around on me. But with everything installed correctly, it's holding up great in the wind. So I only put just these top two on there, and you can see already, well, if the wind's pushing a little bit, but I mean, it's much more rigid than it was and straighter, so those definitely help out with that. Hey, and wouldn't you know it, I was wondering, we came up there and I see this bow. I'm like, whoa, why is it bowing all of a sudden? Another prime example that I'm always honest in my reviews, but check this out. So I guess that goes to show you how much that guy actually does help out, at least in the wind here, keeping that nice and straight and whatnot. Yeah, the welds were no good on that. It just kind of like snapped right off there. So I have a welder, I'm gonna fix that up, but or I might try to contact Caldwell and have them send me a new one, whatever. But like I said, I've never really employed the use of that thing anyways, but that's definitely a problem and they need to correct that. I mean, I'm sure that I just happened to get a bad one today. QC definitely missed the welds on that, was no good. Yeah, I got my target on there and we're still in this freaking heavy wind, and this thing's being like a parachute. And I mean, even without that support thing there that broke on us, it's still holding up no problem. I'd say the biggest difference there is this thing keeps it from rocking back and forth, which again, in my videos, I usually not utilize that just from being lazy, but I'm definitely going to start using it because it's helping a ton in this wind. Anyways, this is my favorite target to use. I got a link in the description for those targets as well, but this is the way I like to set it up. I tape it just right to where it avoids these seams so that I can fold this thing back up the way it came and toss it back in the car. So I mean, after day shooting, you know, if you can't fold it back up because your target's taped over, or you know, if you got the sticky back target over top of the seam or something like that, you know, you just rip them off and then fold it up. But you know, sometimes I only shoot like a couple groups for whatever review I'm doing, and then I still got the whole rest of the target left. I don't want to be tearing it off or throwing it away. So with this target, at least, which is the one I use the most now, I set it up this way. That way it still folds back up nice and flat, and I'll show you that. But yeah, that's the Caldwell Ultimate Target Stand. Link in the description if you want to get yourself one. Again, link in the description for those targets, and also got all kinds of stuff in there I use in my videos, guys, like my shooting bag, rangefinder, earmuffs, and more. As for the shooting review portion, literally go watch any of my gun reviews. I probably used it. But thanks for checking this one out today. I really appreciate it, and I hope to catch you on the next one.